Hey everyone, it's Emily back again for another video. For this video today, I'm going to do a review on the Naio's powder line. And I'm going to be using Max Adhesion, and I'll be swatching the pinks as well as the beiges. So for the first part of the video, I'm going to start with the pinks, and I'm going to start with the Intense Pink Shimmer and go to Dramatic Pink, True Pink, Bisque, and then Barely There Pink. The reason why I have these labels on here is because Naio's have their labels on the bottom, and I find it really hard to look for powders when they're at the bottom like that, so I have the labels on the top. And I know that in Canada here, we order from the Naio's US website, so the packaging may be different for the UK if you order straight from the UK website, but for the US website, there's definitely some limitations I've noticed. Also, there aren't as many colored acrylic powders or shimmer powders on the US site that's available to us in the US and Canada than the UK site. So just a little bit of an intro there. So I'm going to start swatching the Intense Pink Shimmer, and I have a sticker here to indicate where I'm starting from so I don't lose my spot and get them mixed up. Although it's pretty hard to get mixed up because Intense Pink Shimmer is pretty different from the other ones. So just a little bit about me. I started looking into acrylic nails about 6 months ago, and at that time, because I was not certified and I didn't have a business that did nails, it was really hard for me to buy acrylic nail products. So Naio's was one of the few brands that actually sold acrylic nails, their acrylic system, online and shipped it to Canada, and they didn't ask for any certification or things like that when you purchase. You don't have to create an account. You can just, anybody can go online and order their products, which I know there's a lot of controversy about that, but it was nice for me at that time because I didn't know if I wanted to get into this nail thing or not. So, I mean, it's better to kind of test it out myself before I commit to taking a course devoted to acrylic nails. So it was nice for me at that time to have a place like Naio's that would sell to the public. But I can see why a lot of brands do not do that. So after playing around on my own nails for a couple of months, I decided to be a little bit more serious about nails and enrolled in an online acrylics course. This was the course offered by NSI Academy, and it is taught by Anastasia Luksha. She also has a YouTube page here, and she is from Russia. And I definitely did learn a lot of tips from her, but I truly believe that YouTube did make up a large part of my education in doing nails. Of course, I'm not at all good at it at the time. I'm still practicing on my friends and hand models, but definitely a combination of actual education and YouTube has really helped me improve my application, which still needs a lot of improvement. So I'm going to add a little bit more in the middle there. And the reason why the Intense Pink Shimmer I have here is in a smaller bottle is because this color is always sold out in the larger sizes. So I actually have to buy a bunch of small bottles, which is kind of annoying because it's also a lot more expensive. The more you get, the cheaper it is, basically. All right. So there it is. So we're gonna wait for that to dry. And we'll go on to the next color, which is Dramatic Pink. And if you hear any sound in the background, it's actually my cat eating her food, so please don't mind that. And one thing that I learned online on NSI Academy is whenever you're using tips, you should really be buffing them. And this, I had learned, is not because of adhesion, is not to improve adhesion, but it's actually to protect your brush so that product doesn't get stuck on them. So I really should have buffed these tips before I started, but I was just too lazy to do that, so I did not buff them. And I know a lot of people don't buff them either. I don't really know if it actually does ruin your brushes, but okay. You can see that my application is terrible here. Like, my beads are way too wet. So I definitely have to work on that. But like, the point of this video is really to show the different colors. I'm not teaching technique. So let me try drying up the bead on the back of the paper towel. Yep, should have done that. And Naio also has a gel line, and I did buy some gels from them, but I didn't realize they were so expensive. If I get a chance to review gels, I will do a separate video on that. For gels, I use Young Nails and Light Elegance as well, so I can do a comparison for those gels as well. Okay. I'm also planning to review CJP. They recently started to deliver their powders to Canada, so I was super excited, and I've already bought a bunch of powders from them. Unfortunately, they are still not delivering monomer to Canada yet, so I don't want to test it out with, I don't want to switch cross brands, so I'm going to wait until they start delivering monomer before I actually review them, because I don't think it's going to do it justice if I use another monomer to review their product. Okay, so that was Dramatic Pink. And I'm going to go on to True Pink. So many pinks. I know on the Naio's YouTube video, Christy has a video on doing a baby boomer with intense pink shimmer, and it looks really great. So, and I've definitely tried that, and it does look really nice. Once again, the bead is too wet. If you guys have any suggestions for me on how I can improve my application, that would be greatly appreciated. As I mentioned in my first video, I'm by no means qualified to teach or instruct. Here I'm just basically reviewing colors. So part of my terrible application, trying my best. I'm trying my best. And ever since I did get my certification a couple of months ago, I've been able to buy a lot more products from brands that I didn't have access to before, such as Light Elegance, Young Nails, Fusion, all that. Oh, another place that actually, if you are in Canada and you're looking for acrylic powders and monomer and you're not certified, another place that sells it is a place that is based in Quebec called Longles d'Or. So that's in French, and pardon my terrible pronunciation. So it's L'Ongles and then space d'Or. So you can order from there without any certification, but you are paying a higher price. So just be mindful of that. And that's where I got a bunch of Glam and Glitz powders as well. Okay, next is Bisque. Let's see. I used Bisque a lot when I was training because it was a really good color for me to see through and basically look at whether or not I had air bubbles or whether or not I had any lines from where I added product. No, actually it wasn't Bisque, sorry. It was one of these pinks that I use. I believe it was Dramatic Pink that I used to practice a lot. As you can see, Bisque is quite opaque. So I'm wetting my brush and grabbing product, draining it, and I'm still finding it very runny. So and I really shouldn't have started with the Intense Pink Shimmer now that I think about it, because that would definitely leave glitter in your monomer. But you can still see the difference in colors here, so. Okay. So that is Bisque. And then Barely There Pink. I'm definitely a fan of Christy Meakin from Naio. She's taught me a lot about acrylic applications, and I really like her videos. She's also very funny at times, I find, so it's very nice to watch her. I'm gonna need to add more monomer. Probably because I'm using way too much. Okay. Dry it. I also got their medium speed monomer as well. And I use a lot of that one because it helps with beginners and people that are learning, because you get enough time to actually play with the product before it sets. I'm gonna need a new paper towel as well because this one's getting saturated. I normally have some landing towels here to hold some of the liquid, but because I'm trying to get in frame, which I'm doing a terrible job of, sorry, I need to use this heart to gauge where I should put my hand in to make sure I'm not out of the lens, out of the box or whatever you call it. Okay. Oops. So this is definitely a super long nail. And when I learned how to do acrylics through NSI Academy, I learned the 3-bead technique. So definitely just now I probably use like 50 million beads, but not the 3-bead technique, but this is definitely a longer nail. So here are the 5 pinks that I just swatched. I'm going to file them now, make them smooth, and apply a layer of top coat on it, and I will be back. All right, so I just filed all of these tips and I'm gonna apply a layer of top coat. This is my favorite part of doing nails, so I didn't want to deprive you guys of that part as well. I am running out of this top coat. Actually, I'm not running out of this top coat. It's because this brush for this bottle is way too short, so it's not actually getting to the product that's down at the bottom of the bottle, so it's a little annoying, but all right. That is the Intense Pink Shimmer. And then once I've top coated them all, I'm going to take them off of this stand and put it this side on this black mat here. So hopefully you could see the difference a little bit better. There's some at the bottom there, so I'm just gonna put top coat there so it doesn't change the color. Okay, whoops. So that's all the top coated swatches. I'm going to cure this for 30 seconds and I'll be right back. All right, so here are the swatches after top coat has been applied. Here is the Intense Pink Shimmer, Dramatic Pink, you can see it, True Pink, Bisque, Barely There Pink. So let me do this. So definitely my favorite one is the Intense Pink Shimmer. And then, as you can see, Dramatic Pink and True Pink are pretty similar actually. It's even in person, you can't really tell the difference. For sure, the Barely There Pink is more similar to a clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch the clear and see how it compares with the Barely There Pink. So I'm just going to do that right now. Okay. So I have a very big bottle of clear here. I'm going to do a swatch for. I like to use clear as my base, so that's why I have a very big bottle of clear here. Get my monomer. Okay. Another tip. Try the bead, and then apply it there. I think it would be interesting to do a battle of the clear acrylics and see how different they are. Because sometimes when I go on websites and forums, a lot of people are like, look at how clear this X brand clear acrylic is. And to me, I don't think there's any difference between the different clears. So let's see. Oh, I forgot. Another brand that does not require a certificate before you can buy their acrylics is Naio Couture. That is a brand that is created by a gentleman named Max Estrada. And him and Susie from Nail Career Education have a lot of collaborations. They do a lot of collaborations, and so that's kind of how I found out about Naio Couture. I'm going to do a review of their monomer down the road as well because it's an interesting one. Definitely a lot of mixed reviews on that monomer, and I'll let you guys know what my thoughts are on that. So this is the clear. So I'm gonna let this set, file it, and then I'll be back once I top coat it, and we'll compare it with the Barely There Pink. Okay, so I have the clear right here, so we can compare it right now with the Barely There Pink. Dramatic Pink. Okay, so just for comparison, I'm gonna put the order of the acrylics here. So under a black background, this is what they look like. So this is Intense Pink Shimmer, Dramatic Pink, True Pink, Bisque, Barely There Pink, and Transparent. So if we compare these two, I don't know if it's obvious on screen, but there is definitely a slight pink tinge to the Barely There Pink. So it is not the same as clear. So I don't know what's the best way to show this, but I know it looks the same, but to me, I can definitely see a hint of pink in this one compared to the clear. So let's take a look at this on a white background. Okay. So I think on a white background, the difference between these two, the Barely There Pink and the clear, is more obvious for sure. And in terms of these two, I still have trouble trying to figure out what the difference is between these two. I can't really tell the difference, to be honest. The Dramatic Pink and the True Pink. I guess this one just, why don't we turn it sideways and see? Yeah, I honestly can't tell the difference between Dramatic Pink and True Pink. Whereas if you look at the Barely There Pink and the clear, you can see there's a difference. Clearly this one's a little bit more yellow and this one is pink. So that's really interesting. So we're gonna move on to the beiges and cameos now. Okay, just gonna lay this here. True Pink, Bisque, Barely There Pink, and the clear. So I've just created these ones here. I'm going to file them and then we're going to top coat them and we're going to do a full comparison.